No one wants to read a feminist reading of anything. No one cares. People just want to watch the fucking play. There are some people who deserve to be rounded up and put in a camp.
All right.
And it's these people.
Yeah. Shakespeare's Globe puts misogyny and racism warning on A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes, we want to know that any play that we watch may contain things that we don't like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovers of Shakespeare are questioning if they are awake or are dreaming after the Globe Theatre placed a content warning on A Midsummer Night's Dream.
It's one of Shakespeare's most innocuous plays. It's one of his comedies.
Yeah, he was a massive racist, mate.
Yeah, he probably was, mate. He was living about how long ago now? About over 500 years ago?
Yeah, so what, mate? Well, I mean, hide it, Anton. What an outrageous comment from Francis there. I mean, outrageous. What? He was living 500 years ago. So what's your point? What? He wasn't supposed to know that the norms of society are going to change 500 years later?
No, he's a fucking genius, mate.
What do you mean?
So he should have known. He should have been able to look into the future and predict what's happening.
That's what he should have seen the future. I mean, are you a genius or what?
Yeah.
Are you talented? Yeah. Are you the creator of some of the greatest works of dramaturgy, or whatever the English word for that is, in the history of humanity, right? If you knew that, why didn't you know that 500 years later, the norms of society would change and a pink-haired minge at a university would get triggered by the fact that there's some misogyny in a Midsummer Night's Dream?
No, I completely agree with you. And if Shakespeare, if you'd spent less time sitting on your ass writing things like, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, thou art more lovely and more temperate, if you'd actually spent more of the time training your brain to see into the future, maybe this kind of nonsense wouldn't have happened.
And anyway, did you not have unconscious bias training in your day, mate?
Yeah.
And if you didn't, why not? Why didn't you seek it out? And if it wasn't available, why didn't you start it?
Mate, it wasn't available. He's from the Midlands. They still don't have unconscious bias training up there at the moment.
They're mostly unconscious, that's why.
Yeah, exactly, mate, from all that booze and from the fact that they live in the Midlands.
Yeah. Anyway, let's read this article because it is brilliant.
Ticket buyers on the Globe website are told that it contains language of violence, sexual references, misogyny and racism. Anyway, I mean, everything's racist now, so why not a Midsummer Night's Dream?
Anyone with further concerns is asked to contact the ticketing team, hopefully so they can get fucking thrown off a bridge.
The comedy follows four young lovers who find themselves in an enchanted forest inhabited by fairies. It's due to run at the Globe until August the 12th. Feminist readings of A Midsummer Night's Dream may focus on the character of Hermia.
No one wants to read a feminist reading of anything. No one cares. People just want to watch the fucking play.
Apart from the feminists who don't really care.
No one cares. Like I said, there's about 3 of them.
No,
even feminists don't care about feminist readings of play because that's like old school. Feminists, all they care about now is trans.
No.
That's all they care about. Am I wrong?
No, that is
true.
No,
go on the Mumsnet Feminist Forum as I do sometimes as a guilty pleasure.
Do you?
Every single fucking topic is about trans.
I mean, they fucking love it.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about rewriting history anymore.
No.
Injecting women into places they don't belong, like offices and other workplaces.
Yeah, like places of power.
Exactly. I mean, obviously don't belong there. Why are you shoving them in there?
Exactly.
You know what? No, Anton, don't show my full face. I feel bad. All those jokes might get taken seriously.
Yeah. So look, I completely agree with you. Women ruin things, and let's see what they say.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they do, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but sometimes.
But I did mean it.
Sometimes you just need to make it clear for them, otherwise it can't, crack through the old skull. Anyway.
I think this is the sort of thing they're talking about when they're trying to crack down on online hate.
Really?
Just me and you joking.
Really? Well, yeah. Are we joking, or are we making very considered points? And then because if we're going to improve society, we need to do something drastic.
I mean, let's be honest, mate. Most of the global population would agree with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And we know that the global South are morally virtuous people, unlike us evil global Northerners, right? Yeah. So they know women should belong in the home.
Do you know who else thinks women should belong in the home? It's grand. Anyway.
They're jokes, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, we've only got 1 slot left with them, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so Hermia, who's pursued relentlessly by Demetrius, even though she shows no interest in him, and is in love with Lysander.
Yeah, what a rapist.
Exactly. Demetrius is helped in his endeavors by Aegeus, Hermia's father, who demands she marries Demetrius. If she refuses, she faces being sentenced to death or banished to a nunnery.
This is how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Elsewhere in the play, Oberon, king of the fairies,
Right.
I mean, that's problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, mate,
you can't call him that, mate.
No, mate.
And look at him; he's using drugs for sex as well.
Yeah. Well, you
I mean, that's stereotyping.
Yeah, it is.
That lot. I mean, this is a nightmare for LGBTQI plus.
Mate, you can't have Oberon just wandering around behaving effeminate and towing poppers.
I mean, king of the fairies. You can't call him that.
No.
It's 2023.
Exactly.
I mean, it wasn't when he wrote it. It was like 1453 or whatever it was, right? Yeah. But still.
You can't say king of the fairies.
You can't call him king of the fairies.
Yeah, he's queer.
He's queer.
Exactly.
And gender non-binary. Anyway, he drugs his spouse.
Yeah.
Right, Titania, to make her fall in love against her will with the next thing she sees.
This happens to be Bottom, a character with the head of a
dog. You got a character called Bottom?
Yeah. Who is interacting with the king of the fairies.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, there is a lot of prejudice in this, right?
Yeah, there is.
Why didn't they do a warning about homophobia?
Exactly. I'm sure there's about 6 gay people all crying, and that's just the members of the cast.
Anyway, the word Ethiop, a racist term from someone from Ethiopia. What?
Exactly.
Was it racist in his day?
Probably was, mate. I mean, let's be fair. If anyone's going to be racist, it was that lot.
Yeah.
From Ethiopia, all sub-Saharan Africa. Appears in Act 3, Scene 2, where it's used by Lysander to refer to Hermia. It's also referenced in Romeo and Juliet.
When Shakespeare wrote the play in 1590, it is believed upper-class people prided themselves on the lightness of their skin because it indicated they did not work outside like many plebs.
Yeah.
The Globe and Cambridge University Press stream free seminars under the name of Anti-Racist Shakespeare.
Good.
To examine his works with a focus on social justice.
That's what we need.
Fuck me.
That is what we need. For too long, we have been seeing works of King Lear, and it's not been done through the lens of social justice.
Francis, you know what? I mean, I know this will sound controversial. It may do, but I think Hitler was right.
What?
There are some people who deserve to be rounded up and put in a camp.
All right.
And it's these people.
Yeah. Feminists.
It's not feminists, mate. Feminists is who watch the show because we bang on about.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not feminists.
I mean, they don't watch it anymore. Not after this. Not after this, mate.
Nah, they love it.
Anyway, let's carry on with this.
Yeah, so let's keep reading the article.
An episode on A Midsummer Night's Dream was filmed in 2021. Professor Vanessa Corredera, fuck me, because Latina, so she's obviously loves banging on, who chairs English at Andrews University in Michigan, said in the seminar, "It's funny and literally a spectacular play. But that spectacle can do a lot of work to gloss over the problematic gendered and racialized dynamics in this play."
When do you reckon was the last time she got laid, mate?
Probably about the time that Shakespeare wrote it, mate.
In the Globe's production of The Merchant of Venice last year, ticket buyers were warned about scenes of anti-Semitism. What is wrong with you retards? And bullying. The warning also mentioned colorism and racism, strong language, and scenes of a sexual nature.
Of course, there's scenes of anti-Semitism in A Merchant of Venice. It's like watching that film Amistad, or 12 Years a Slave, and going, yeah, there's going to be some scenes of slavery in here, mate.
Yeah.
Just to
watch out.
Watch out. And also, there's some racism in there as well.
So what do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon...
Should we cancel Shakespeare?
Yeah, let's cancel him. He's a straight, white, cis man.
I mean...
Fuck him.
He probably wasn't, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there is a theory that he may have been a woman, just like God.
Really?
Yeah. Do you see why we have to move Raw onto locals? Do you see now?
No, they don't. They don't.
I 5 pounds a month. I can't handle it.